Dear students, I am Bharat Kashyap, lecture biology at GSSS Majwad, district Mandi. Today I am going to teach you the third chapter of biology, human reproduction, and today's topic is pregnancy and embryonic development. Let's begin today's topic. First of all, we will discuss formation of chorionic villi. As we have already studied, the embryo in blastocyst stage gets embedded in the endometrium of the uterus. This process is called implantation and it leads to pregnancy. Now, after implantation, many finger-like projections appear on trophoblast. These are called chorionic villi, which are surrounded by uterine tissue and maternal blood. So first is the formation of chorionic villi, then we proceed to the formation of placenta. Formation of placenta. Look at the diagram. The chorionic villi and uterine tissue become interdigitated with each other. They jointly form a structural and functional unit between developing embryo and maternal body. This is called placenta. The placenta is connected to embryo through an umbilical cord, also known as birth string, which help in transport of substances to and from the embryo. Now, functions of placenta. Placenta perform various functions. Let us discuss one by one. First is nutrition. Food materials pass from mother's blood into fetal blood through placenta, as this is the only connection here. Then respiration. Through the placenta, oxygen passes from the maternal blood to the fetal blood and carbon dioxide from fetal blood to maternal blood. Then excretion. The nitrogenous wastes like urea pass from the fetal blood into maternal blood through placenta. Very important function of placenta is it acts as an endocrine tissue and produce several hormones. Let us discuss first the hormones which are produced only during the period of pregnancy. These are HCG, human chorionic gonadotropins, HPL, human placental lactogen, relaxin, which is also produced by ovary in later phase of pregnancy, and some additional hormones, the estrogens, cortisol, progestrogens, prolactin, thyroxine. The secretion of these hormones increases many times in maternal blood during the period of pregnancy. These hormones are essential for growth of fetus, metabolic changes in mother, and maintenance of pregnancy. Next function of placenta is storage. The placenta stores glycogen, fats, etc. for the fetus before liver is formed. It also acts as a barrier. Placenta is an efficient barrier and allows useful materials to pass to fetal blood. Harmful substances like nicotine, from cigarette, and addictive drugs such as heroin can pass through placenta. The viruses and bacteria can also pass through placenta. Antibodies. Various antibodies like which act against diphtheria, smallpox, measles, etc. pass from maternal blood to fetal blood through placenta and provide passive immunity. So now formation of germ layers. This is also known as gastrulation. After implantation, inner cell mass of blastocyst of embryo differentiates to three germ layers. These are ectoderm, which is outer. You can look at the diagram here. Then endoderm, this is inner one, and in between them is mesoderm. Very important is that these three germ layers give rise to all tissues and organs in adults. Now, stem cells. You must have heard about them. The inner cell mass contains certain cells which have potency to form all tissues and organs. These are stem cells. These can be preserved for future use. Extraembryonic membranes. These are formed outside the embryo from the trophoblast. There are following four types. First one is yolk sac. It is well developed in reptiles and birds. These animals have polylethal eggs with lot of food. However, it is vestigial in humans. Then amnion. It encloses amniotic cavity which is filled with amniotic fluid. Then allantois. Again, it is reduced in humans. Then chorion. Chorion surrounds the embryo. This whole is chorion, and it forms placenta in humans. Such type of placenta is called chorionic placenta. So these were four extraembryonic membranes around the embryo. Organogenesis. It is the process of formation of organs during different stages of ongoing pregnancy. Let us discuss organogenesis in three phases. During first trimester, that is up to 3 months, heart develops after 1 month of pregnancy. The first signs of growing fetus may be noticed by listening of the heart sounds through the stethoscope. By the end of second month of pregnancy, the fetus develops limbs and digits. By the end of 3 months, major organ systems are formed. For example, the limbs and external genital organs are well formed. During the second trimester, that is 3rd to 6th month, the first movements of fetus and appearance of hair on the head are observed during 5th month of pregnancy. By the end of second trimester, the body is covered with fine hair, eyelids separate, eyelashes are formed. By the end of 9 months of pregnancy, the fetus is fully formed and is ready for delivery. Now let us discuss parturition. The duration of human pregnancy is about 9 months. This is called gestation period. During completion of this gestation period, the vigorous contraction of the uterus at end of pregnancy causes expulsion of the fetus. This is called parturition. It is induced by a complex neuroendocrine mechanism. Neuroendocrine mechanism means where the nervous system release various hormones which control various functions of the body. The fully developed fetus and placenta induce signals to originate mild uterine contraction. This is called fetal ejection reflex. The fetal ejection reflex triggers release of oxytocin or birth hormone from maternal pituitary. Oxytocin acts on the uterine muscles and cause stronger uterine contractions, which in turn stimulate further secretion of oxytocin. The stimulatory reflex between uterine contraction and oxytocin secretion continues, resulting in stronger and stronger contractions. This leads to expulsion of baby out of uterus through birth canal, that is parturition. Soon after infant is delivered, placenta is also expelled out of the uterus. Now, the process of lactation. The mammary glands of the female undergo differentiation during pregnancy and start production of milk toward the end of pregnancy by the process called lactation. The milk produced during the initial few days of lactation is called colostrum. This is an important question for competition also. It contains various antibodies absolutely essential to develop a resistance for the newborn babies. Breastfeeding during the initial period of infant growth is recommended by doctors for a healthy baby. With this, we come to end of this today's topic. So I do hope you must have understood it properly. Thanks for watching.